After the real heiress returned, I went back to the village. When fake heiress Ivy Quinn texted, I was feeding chickens. It's snowing in London. I miss you. What are you? I scattered the corn and freed a hand to reply. He never ruined the mood. Britain's on winter time now. Will you bring chickens to see me before Christmas? I looked at the chicken beside me, then at my grandma cleaning chicken poop. I told him, no. My grandma would kill. Don't text again. Your fiancé has changed. Ivy Quinn typed for minutes. He sent a voice message. Bad signal, voice crackling. What do you mean, changed? Before I replied, he added, is it thundering there? You're scared of thunder. No thunder. A tractor drove by. I spoke slowly, to be clear. I'm not the Pay family's daughter. I'm in the countryside feeding chickens. The deal was for a Payne daughter. They'll have to replace her now. The line went quiet. Before he could speak, I hung up and blocked him. This marriage was a deal between two families. Now that we're no longer equals, no chance for us. Better sharp pain than long. I covered my face. As the tears were about to fall, remembered I had to collect eggs. I'll cry next time. When I left the Payne family, I took nothing. My foster parents urged me to take my clothes and jewelry. I turned them all down. Their daughter, Ivy Payne, stood nearby. She grew up in the countryside and was outgoing. She wasn't shy. She looked at me and said, it was a mix-up. It wasn't your fault. You can stay. But I took your place and had it good. At least let me go back like you did. I bit my tongue. She scratched her head. All right. Before I left, I added Payne she'd send a PDF of postpartum care for sows. If I had questions about raising pigs or feeding chickens, I could ask her any. With nothing but courage and Payne she's concerned, I boarded the bus home and began my life of cutting pig grass in the hills and feeding chickens down below. Back then, Cheen Yuli told me that when Britain switched to winter time, the time difference between us became 8 hours. We could love each for 1 more hour. After half a day in the village, I'd figured out all that love stuff. I care about when my hen's gonna lay an egg. I headed for the coop. The hen was sitting on the eggs, and I didn't know how to get them. After thinking, I called Piper. The hen's on the eggs. How do I get them out? She sent a cheerful voice message. Feed the chicken corn, then grab the eggs. This is the Chickamede's principle. I grabbed corn and held it out to feed the hen. I reached in, felt, and pulled out a warm egg. I set it down, washed my hands, and went back. Thanks, Piper. I opened the voice message and held it to my ear. Oh, don't mention it. Midway, her voice cut off. Penny, speak properly? I laughed, then felt it wasn't appropriate. I'll tap a virtual prayer drum and earn back karma. That night, the family ate around a table. I felt awkward and only picked at the vegetables in front of me. Grandma tugged at her apron and asked in her accent, what's wrong, Jessie? Don't like the food? I'll kill a chicken tomorrow. I quickly shook my head. No. She nodded, looking uneasy. That's good. Tell us if you need anything. I nodded. Nice here too. Just takes getting used to it first. That night, Payne she called me. She lay on her bed, chin in hands. Getting used to it, sis? You'll get there. How do you always know what to say? When will I learn that? I laughed. You're smart. You'll learn soon. You're sweet. Let's cut pig grass together someday. I nodded. Sure. As we chatted about lives, Payne she changed the subject. Why'd you block my brother-in-law? Brother-in-law? Who? Cheen Yuli. I didn't know how to put it tactfully. Payne she returned to the Pay family. She didn't know about this, so I said, why talk about him? He asked me to pass along a message. My English has an accent. I'll send you it's a line from The Lord of the Rings. I'd rather spend a mortal life with you than watch the world change alone for ages. Little sis, got something to say? I thought about it, but I couldn't explain much. The next morning, the rooster crowed. I got up at the rooster's crow and had hot sweet potato porridge. And, just like I'd hoped, I could grab a basket and head up the mountain to cut pig grass. Grandma said, just rest at home. You don't need to work, but I insisted. If Payne she could do it, so could I. She scratched her head, confused. I took a sickle up the mountain along the route Payne she gave me. The mountain had trees and plants. I saw no one all morning. Only wind rustling leaves. I cut grass for half an hour. I started to get scared. Since I was little, my foster mom told me never to come to this place alone. Even if something happened to me, no one would find it. The more I thought about it, I ran down the mountain with a basket of grass, but I was going too fast. I even fell over. When I got home, I was a mess. My hair was all tangled. It was covered in leaves. I thought of the hardship Penny had endured. I felt even more guilty. On receiving a signal, I messaged her. I'm sorry. What's wrong? My voice caught in my throat. I didn't know you'd suffered so much. I didn't suffer. Where'd you go? I replied, out cutting pig grass. I'm the born pig grass cutter. Give me the sickle. She made me laugh, and I instantly felt much lighter. I thought I'd miss Quincy Lee. But feeding the chickens kept me busy to think. I was really fragile. After finding I wasn't biologically related, I almost fell apart, but farm work made up for it. Once busy, I could briefly forget. Over the next month, I shared work tips with Paige West, while Quincy Lee tried every way to get messages to me. I was so conflicted down, yet shutting everyone out. In mid-December, Quincy Lee was about to start Christmas break. Around this time of year, I'd fly to London to spend the holidays with him. I'm afraid he'll roast my chicken like a turkey. We're worlds apart. We can't be together. The first snow fell in the village. I filmed and sent it to Paige. She was excited. She said she'd come back to see her and missed her old family too. While chatting, she mentioned Quinn was back home. I froze. Really? He'll see you too. If he sees me, I'll make sweet potato porridge. I dreamed of Quinton. He wore a camel coat beneath angel lights as snow fell like feathers. It fell softly, fluttering. Streetlights reflected in his eyes. When you graduate, let's get married. I remember my answer was yes. But in dream, I rubbed my hands. Nope. Our sow's having piglets. I gotta get home. Then I was woken by a rooster crowing. I got up and put on my padded jacket with red peonies. I grabbed the feed and headed for chicken coop. After feeding the chickens, I went for a bowl of hot porridge. Life was simple. Near noon, Paige arrived. Her car pulled into the yard. She opened the door, ran inside, calling, "Grandma." My adoptive mother walked out. The moment she saw me, she frowned. There was a hint of pain in her eyes. "Jane, you've lost weight." She came over and linked her arm with mine, like always. "You've suffered enough. Come home." Elsie doesn't mind another little sister. Elsie's good. She doesn't mind, but going back wouldn't be fair to her. I shook my head. Forget it. She's lived like this for over 20 years. I knew Evelyn Perry would need time to adjust to her family. I was closer to my adoptive mother. The Perry family had enough money for both daughters, but I couldn't take any of what should have been Evelyn's. I'd lived her good life over 20 years. My mother sighed and said no more. She looked toward the distant hill. Grandma killed a chicken. There were 2 drumsticks. Evelyn and I got 1 each. I rarely ate meat with bones because it wasn't elegant. Paying, she eagerly dug in. My adoptive mother frowned at her. With people around, she pressed her lips and said nothing. After dinner, paying, she took dishes to the kitchen. My adoptive mother whispered, "She just isn't as good as you. I raised you myself. You're much more sensible than she is." I hesitated but called her Aunt Yun. Aunt Yun, she would be hurt if she heard that. She just never had to learn before. She'll get better and better. She sighed. All right, all right. I stacked the remaining plates on the table and headed to the kitchen. Peyton Creek scrubbed dishes with a loofah sponge. She was clearly used to it. I set the dishes down. I walked over. "I'll do it. I'll get them cleaner than you." "Exactly," I insisted. "How can I let you do dishes?" After a bit of fighting, Paige made some room for me. "All right, we'll scrub together. Watch my moves, I'll get it spotless." That afternoon, Paige put on her wool gloves and came to find me to build a snowman. As she packed snow, she chatted with me occasionally. "Why'd you break up with Quinton?" The wind was a little cold, pulled scarf over lower half of face, and muttered, "Because the Quinn family cares about social status. As long as you two like each other. I don't want to get tangled up with him, only to have the elders tear us apart. Besides, Julian Quinn grew up with Ivy Peel." I didn't know how to tell her this. I lowered my head and said, "Once they cut off his allowance, he'll behave." Whenever Julian Quinn came up, my chest tightened, like there was a net around my heart, trapping all my sadness. "Okay, I don't get it. Let's talk about the sow at home. The sow is about to give birth." She counted fingers, telling me how to care for a sow after delivery. She looked straight at me. "Jane, don't think I suffered before. I was quite happy. I was an only child, and adults rarely made me do chores. I wanted to help. I majored in vet medicine in college, so I could come back to the village and deliver." She paused, took my hand. "Stop overthinking." I nodded, nose stinging. "Thanks, Yancey." We'd finished building the snowman when Julian Quinn. There's no room for another car in the yard. He had to park at the village entrance and walk over through the snow. Yancey sprang to her feet. She turned and ran inside. "You talk. I'm out." Hadn't seen him in 3 months. Snowflakes clung to his lashes. The wind reddened his face. "Jane, I can't sail or steer, but if you're on some far-off shore, I'd brave any storm to find a treasure like you." He'd said that to me so many times before. But I felt different. Boats and rudders? He'd learn next time he flew home economy. I didn't get it. "Speak plainly." Quinn Yuli finally backed down. "Even if you're in the village, I'll come find you. Let's talk." "Jane." We walked down a lane. His voice was smooth as wine. It fell on my ears. First time I've seen you in a floral jacket. I sighed. I'm no longer Perry family's heiress. I was taught even in love, you had to be well matched. You couldn't play savior to the poor. Then I thought about it and added, even though I'm the poor one now, the same rule still applies. If I marry up, I'll be beneath you. While in London, watching the angel lights come on. In a chicken coop, feeding chickens, cluck, feed me. He interrupted my spell. I was all ready to cry in the snow. That carefully built-up sadness is gone. He slipped hands into his coat pockets, acting like nothing happened. I know I'm not very funny, but, Jesse, our love is enough. My voice was hoarse. You're an idealist. He lowered head and looked at me. Your words still say you love. It felt like punching cotton. I only want you, Jesse, even feeding chickens or shoveling manure. I asked, what if your parents don't support you being with a fake heiress and cut off your credit card? Time abroad will be hard. I have full scholarship. Tuition is. I planned it. I picked the safest, cheapest route. I can take a bus northwest. Then walk 60 miles a day. Crossing the English Channel is tricky. I'll buy a neck ring. Don't worry, I'll get a glow-in-the-dark one. So I can swim at night too. Time depends on the wind. There'll be free all-you-can-eat seafood at sea. I can handle sashimi. Housing won't be a problem. I can be homeless and collect allowance. He went on and on. I need time to think. Hearing walk 60 miles, my brain started shrinking. Did you take a pig's trotter from the museum and put it on your neck? No, I wanted you to see how sincere I am. I let out a breath. Give me more time. Start life over. Quinn wanted to see what I do. Took him to the pig pen. Then I put on my arm cover and poured feed into the trough. The sow was due to give birth, so I had to give her deworming. The pig pen didn't smell good. But he didn't look disgusted at all. I'll cut pig feed, you feed pigs, and we'll be happy forever. You don't know how hard the mountain roads are. I've learned rock climbing. Punching cotton again. He said, mountains and seas may keep lovers apart. But mountains and seas can be crossed. I rubbed my temples. Forget crossing mountains and if nothing to do, sweet pig crap. He went to the corner and picked up a bamboo broom. He started sweeping. When done, he looked at me and said seriously, should I carry manure to fields? I shook my head. No need. It's winter. He put the broom back. It's winter, my heart isn't cold. Pigs were grunting and chickens clucking. But I could still hear his voice clearly. Like a stone in a lake, stirring waves in my heart. I turned away and forced myself calm. I've been feeding chickens in the village for a month. My heart is harder than chicken poop frozen for 2 days. He sighed. Some fall in love. Some stare at the sea. Some cross the ocean and fail to win back a fiancé. I thought, some get up early to feed chickens and still get packed. Quinton Joy is staying at guest house by village, and Penny West is staying today, too. She said she bonded with the sow and had to deliver her piglets herself to feel at ease. No idea how she convinced her adoptive mom. Before leaving, her adoptive mom looked helpless. But she didn't scold her. Penny West came over with her pillow to share the room. We huddled around the stove to keep warm. The firelight flickered across her face. Honey, the Quinn family brought up the engagement again after you left. It made me sad. I figured. She said, I'd never steal your boyfriend. But Quinton Yuli's dad insisted on giving me contact info. My heart clenched. And then, she asked. Quinton fought back. His card limit was cut too. He flew home economy. He'll be homeless overseas. I agreed to pass on words because he seemed sincere. My mind went blank. Then I thought of Ethan Joy. The rich young man who threw money around, now, because of me, was worrying about the cost of a ticket home. My chest felt heavy. I said, please tell him. Stop it already. Penny Brooke waved it off. You have mouths. I'm not passing message. Forget him. Little sister, talk business. Okay. Snow falls softly outside, warm and cozy inside, or a heart-to-heart. Hugging a pillow, Penny Brooke said softly, before I came home, I had a lot of issues with you. I dropped to my knees. I'm sorry. She said, stop apologizing. Before I met you, I thought, if you were like fake rich girls who play innocent and came after me, I'd rally netizens to give me ideas. But didn't put on airs. Just left and came back to help Grandma. She stroked her chin, acting sleazy. You're different. She leaned closer, eyes sparkling. Getting switched at birth means we were meant to meet. I nodded. I curled my lips. By some slim chance, I ended up on the path her life was meant to take. But my birth mother doesn't seem very happy with me. I've studied over a month, but I'm not sure I can get into the I comforted her. It's a matter of time. You managed hundreds of chickens. Managing people should be no problem. I still get packed by chicken. Penny burst out laughing. With your status, can't you decide who gets killed? I said, that's true. but I can't wipe out a chicken's family every day. She said, "Would you come learn at the company with me? There are things I don't understand. There are 12 bosses on site, but only 11 cups of water. Help me out, sis. I'm just a weak, helpless veterinarian. As for grandma, I'll hire help for her. You can't keep feeding pigs forever." I hesitated, then nodded. After seeing the paternity test, I was lost for a long time. I couldn't sleep all night. I didn't know how to start my life over. I was following the path laid out for me. At 22, I finished studying business information management, joined my family's company to learn the ropes, then planned to marry Evan Quinn years later. That paternity test shattered all plans. I couldn't stay at the company with my head held high. I didn't know what to do next. Confused, I could only go back to the village to manage a few hundred chicken and haggle over pig prices with livestock. Grandma rubbed her hands, smiling as she praised me, polite yet distant. Jane studied overseas. She can sell pork for over $10 a pound. I could smile and go along, but my mind was elsewhere. What am I supposed to do from now? How do I let go of my old pride and find an ordinary job to support myself? I don't know. Ivy spoke up. She thought I could help. Like a drowning person grabbing driftwood, I had hope. "Thank you, Ivy." She said. "No, I should thank you, little sister. Let's sleep." She tugged at the blanket and covered both of us. "Good night, Macca Packa." I couldn't fall asleep. At night, I quietly got out of bed, threw on my coat, and went outside. I unblocked Quinn. Then, I sent him a voice message. He picked up right away. His voice was gentle, with a smile in the rising tone. Snow fell outside, and in my heart. My fiancé, here to rain on my parade again? The closer I got, the more I didn't know how to start. So I asked, "Did you buy your ticket back to London?" He said, "Yes." Just 2 words. I knew the answer. "Economy class?" He went quiet, then smiled. "You got me." Then he said to me, "I waited to get this ticket. It cost $1,600. I sighed. Youth has no price tag. Iron butt, straight. He tried to sound casual. "I might not return at Easter. Next time I return will be after graduation. By then, I'll be grown. My dad can't control me anymore." Then his voice faded away. "Let's not be apart anymore. Evelyn has taken 99 steps toward me." I heard myself say, "Okay." A few days later, the sow gave birth. Paige delivered the piglets herself. She cared for the sow after. Once she'd done what she wanted, she was taking me back to the city. I got into family car again. Paige sat beside me, nervous and excited. Her hand clutching the hem of her clothes trembled. "I'm starting a new chapter, Jane." I smiled at her and said, "Good luck, Penny." The car slowly drove out of the village. I looked back one last time at the place where I'd stayed briefly. After Penny Perry returned, the Perry family never announced her identity. Everyone knew. When we joined the company together, everyone gave us knowing looks. I don't care. She gave me a job. Enough. I can't control others' thoughts. Paige's secretary. I grew up around the company with my adoptive father. I learned the ropes and know our regular clients. I picked a restaurant for Paige's first client meeting. I asked about client preferences and chose every dish myself. I wrote down every detail and told her what to watch out for. In the hotel hallway, I ran into my friend, Summer. She once approached me to help her family work with the Pay family, speaking to me in a low, humble voice. But she stood with her arms crossed, looking down on me with sneer. "Julian Perry, never thought you'd fall so low, working for another." I knew what she was thinking. The humiliation she suffered because of me, she wanted it back with me down. No point arguing with an idiot. I gave her a cold glance and left. She blocked my way, her tone nasty. "How much is Ms. Perry paying?" "I can offer you more. You can work for me instead. We don't have much bad blood." Did she think I had a grudge against Ivy Perry? I almost laughed. As I was about to snap, Ivy Perry walked over, stopped in front of Summer. Her voice was even louder. "Why should my sister work for you? Grow mushrooms in a cellar. If you don't have a cellar, never." She had always been sharp-tongued. It took seconds for the insult to sink in. Summer froze for a few seconds. Then she saw red. "Ignore Miss Triggered. Come on, sis. Teach me how to respond tactfully to those elders. I can't handle them, okay?" I rented near the office. Peggy kept asking me to move in with her, but I turned her down every time. "I'm afraid our adoptive mother will compare us again." That would hurt Peggy. Since she stood up for me, my coworkers have been treating me better too. Maybe they finally realized the real and fake heiresses aren't enemies. I joked with her. "My sister's got my back. Give me a hug, GNG." Chin Yuli went back to England for school. He started fighting over the spatula and learning to fend for himself. "What are you doing?" The picture shows a sad, bland white person meal, too good to throw. "I'm back." I'm helping Ingshi sort spreadsheets. Then I transferred 5 grand. 1. Ingshi pays me pretty well. I'm a corporate parasite. I tag along to her meetings for the free snacks. I barely spend anything on food, so I can save most of it. Might as well support Chin Yuli, London's homeless guy. He can reject WeChat transfers, so I sent it to his Alipay. I went with Paige Winsley to events. She learned to handle it all. She chatted with the big shots. Whenever asked about me, she'd smile and say, "This is Jane." Her stance is the Winsley families. I became the Winsley's second daughter again. Quincy Joy graduated in early summer. First love was coming home, so work could wait. I asked Paige Winsley for time off to pick her up at the airport. She agreed right away. Then she pulled a contract from the bottom of her drawer and handed it to me. "This is the dowry Mom and Dad prepared for you. 15% of the company shares and houses. The deeds and keys are at home. I'll bring them over tomorrow." I was stunned. "Isn't it too soon to talk about a dowry? I picked you up from the airport." She rubbed her chin. "You're right, but sign it first." "I don't want it. I won't take extra. But Mom and Dad decided to give it to you." I thought, then said, "Then I'll give it to you." "You're pretty nice, actually." I checked the time. "Gotta go, sis. I'm going to the airport." I took the subway, then rode a bike. On the way, I bought Quinn Yuli Honey Snow City drink. He'd never had one, so I brought it for him to try. I waited at the exit a moment before he came out pulling his suitcase. Quinn Yuli looked thinner. He was wearing an old short-sleeved shirt. When he saw me, his lips curved up. "You're here, Jen." I nod and hand him the orange juice. He puts in the straw and starts drinking. "Did you drive here?" "I rode my bike." "You'd bike for hours just to see me. So you really do care about." "Took the subway too." "Never mind. Forget it." "Yeah, you're on my mind." Because Julian Quinn had luggage. He couldn't ride bikes with me, so we had to take a cab. When I set destination, I asked, "Are you going home?" My dad'd break my legs if he saw me again. He'd known how to behave and never caused trouble. I never thought he'd rebel so badly in his 20s that the elders who approved of him would threaten to beat him. I felt a little guilty. "Let's go to my place first." I took Quinton Joy right back to my place. He got a call on the way. His father's voice came through. "Have you admitted you were wrong?" "No, Dad. He's not a poor nobody. He promised me when I get back from studying abroad, we'll run the family business together." "Whose family business?" "Not mine." "No. I'll run yours, and she'll run his sister's. We both have bright futures." Then he hung up. 6 months, I would have panicked that I was holding him back. After 6 months working, I've learned to let it go. I'm the blondie. So what? It was dinner time, about to order takeout. Ethan had already found the grocery market. "I'll cook." He bought the groceries, put on an apron and chopped vegetables. The yellow light softened his features. He was total husband material. Last year, our families agreed we'd marry after his master's degree. But the accident happened, and no one brought it up again. Ethan Quinn made a bet with his rich friends that he could build a successful business on his own. Because of that bet, he borrowed millions. Then he worked around the clock from home. As usual, I helped Ivy Parker handle all kinds of affairs, so she could focus without worries. Later, she stood on her own and took on more business. Our adoptive father was pleased with her. He said in front of everyone, "I've raised 2 daughters." He still saw me as daughter. Ethan Quinn's business was a success. He'd grown independent, and his father told him to return and inherit the family business. As for the engagement, we still have to go through. Peyton gave me time off to plan the wedding. She pulled out a stack of books and said, "They're for you." My client's sister's best friend got married, and her sister gave her gifts. I can't let her outdo me, right? What a weird competitive streak. I smiled so hard my eyes. "You're sweet, sis. I'll stick with you forever. I'm used to being your little sister." I want my sister's simp. I was the Page family's only daughter. My adoptive parents were strict. They taught me never to show emotion and stay composed. I was brainwashed to be prim and proper. The girls from families like mine and I didn't click. We were only polite to each other. Only Paige Wynn was my true friend. The only one I could call my sister. When Grandma found out I was getting married, she prepared things for me. The pigs, chickens, they're coming with me. Quinn Reed set aside yard space for a pig pen and chicken coop. His dad got upset seeing it. He thought Quinn was messing around. The pig and chickens were Grandma's. "I'll take good care of them." I whispered, "Could Grandma have meant for us to kill and eat them?" He hesitated. "Do we have to?" "I can't bear to." "Fine." Giving the pig and chickens a kind of absurd, but understandable. On the wedding day, both adoptive and biological parents came. A small number are my relatives from the countryside. Most are my adoptive parents and relatives from the Quinn family. On the big screen are memories of Joyce Quinn and I. At 16, went abroad for high school and became Joyce's junior. A love-struck boy wrote, "This boundless universe." You're just an illusion. To me, I was young, clueless. Can you speak normally? All right. At 18, I accepted his confession. When I came home for break, we were a good match. And since families work together, getting engaged made sense. At 21, I came back home. We started a long-distance relationship. He filmed every first snowfall in London. He invited me. Come before Christmas? Until last year, I fell from grace, became a fake heiress, and returned to the countryside to raise chickens. He first defied his family's wishes. Even with card limits, he stayed in London, barely getting by and nearly homeless. At the end, his voice was tender. Jasmine. I can't sail a boat, but if you're on some faraway shore, brave any storm to find you, my treasure. The video was edited romantically. Peyton was the first to applaud. Downstairs, Evan Quinn's father played the villain, his face dark. Evan and I smiled. Now, our endless summer would never fade. He arranged the bridal suite. The room was filled with red roses and scented candles. The mood was set as he reached to loosen his tie. His eyes smoldered. Every second of our wedding night is precious. I was just about to when a pig squealed in the yard. Evan's hand trembled. The mood shattered. I sighed and gave him a push. Go check on them. They were Grandma's dowry. If they get skinny on the first day, I won't be able to Quinton looked deeply resentful. Who feeds pigs on their wedding night? I pointed outside. He's crying worse than you are. Quinton reluctantly put on his suit jacket and picked up the feed bucket in the corner. I'll serve those little tyrants. He stormed out of the bedroom. I couldn't sleep, so I threw on a coat and followed him. Under the moonlight, Mr. Quinn was pouring pig feed into the trough. The pigs snorted as they ate, then tried to rub up against him. Quinn dodged them, muttering under his breath. Eat, eat, that's all you know how to do. Custom Marmani. Can you pay if you get it dirty? For Janie's sake, I'll spare your lives. I leaned against doorframe and laughed. Quinn turned back, hurt. Honey, you're still laughing. I walked and hugged him from behind. Mr. Quinn looks handsome feeding pigs. He turned and stole a kiss from my lips. Then let's go back and keep going. Just then, the iron gate was pounded so hard it shook. The guard's voice rang out. Mr. Kane, your father's here with bodyguards. He says he's here to tear down the pig. In the middle of the night, Father Kane stormed in, furious. He pointed at the pigs digesting in the yard, his hand shaking. Quinn Kane, are you trying to disgrace the Kane family? Raising pigs in a downtown villa? You'll be headline. Quinn stood in front of the pigsty. These are Jane's dowry. They're premarital property. You can't touch them. Father Kane was mad he nearly fell over. He turned to me to find a way in. Jane, you come from a good family. Can you stand this smell? I walked up with a smile. I stroked the pig's back. This pig ate herbs. The meat is delicious. We plan to slaughter one for New. This is for you. Since you don't like it, forget it. She's begging to take all. Father Cheen swallowed. He might be rich, but he was a foodie. He'd heard of herbal pigs. They were priced. His attitude softened. Bao and I. Was it raised on herbs? Cheen Yuli chimed in. It even drinks Evian water. I rolled my eyes. He was lying. It drank tap water. Father Cheen snorted, looking away. Since Jianji's gift, keep it. Get someone to clean up. No smell. He clasped his hands behind his back and left. At the door, he stopped again and casually added, save the hind leg for me at New Year's. Julian and I exchanged a look. No saying no. By the time his dad left, almost dawn, Julian slumped onto the. He let out a sigh. Thank God he's gone. I nudged his calf. Quit lounging. Time for work. Ivy texted me about a new project. The client was a headache. When we got to the office, Ivy was already in meeting room. She was dressed sharp, with a thermos of goji berries. When she saw me, it was like she'd seen her savior. You're finally here. This guy is impossible. Nothing gets through to him. I looked across the table. A balding middle-aged man sat. He had his legs crossed and a smug look. He was Mr. King from a building materials company. I pulled out a chair and sat down with a business smile. Mr. King, I'm Ivy's sister and in charge of this project. Mr. King glanced at me. Another girl? Is the Perry family out of men, sending women to talk business? Ivy Perry clenched her fists. Under the table, she stomped on the floor. I held her hand down, still smiling. Mr. King, you must black cat or white cat. A cat that catches mice is a good cat. Like you, Mr. King. Not much hair, but your business is booming. Mr. King's face changed. He hated bringing up his hair. I opened the file. Let's talk price instead. If two women can't make the call, I don't mind Quinn Yuli talking to you. Maybe mention millions you lost in Macau. I wonder if your wife knows. Mr. King sweated. This was highly confident. The Quinn family has connections everywhere. No, he changed his tone and smiled. Miss Page, you are joking. With our relationship, the price is negotiable. Negotiable. After signing the contract, Page clung to my arm, looking in awe. Jane, you were cool. That line about not having much hair was a kill shot. I smoothed my hair. Just standard procedure. With people like that, you hit them where it hurts. Paige leaned in with a grin. To celebrate this big deal, there's a get-together tonight. An overseas PhD in veterinary medicine is handsome. Come check out with me. Though married, it's my duty to go with my big sister on a blind date. We met at a Western restaurant. The PhD was Grant Chase. He wore gold-rimmed glasses and looked refined. When he saw us, he stood up. Miss Payne, Mrs. Payne, meet you. Peyton sat across from him, stiff. Dr. Chase, you're researching new pig feed. I nearly spat out water. Talking pig feed on a blind date, Peyton could pull that off. Chase's eyes lit up. Yes, current feed formulas are limited. I plan to add probiotics. They found ground, chatting from sow postpartum care to boar's mental health. I cut my steak beside them. I felt like a third wheel. We were talking when my phone buzzed. Honey, where are you? The pig pen gate broke. The pig got out. In the photo, a huge pig was standing in our carefully tended garden, rooting through the black tulips. My blood pressure shot up. I looked at Dr. Grant. Do you have experience catching pigs? Dr. Grant adjusted glasses and smiled. A little. 20 minutes later, in Chin Family Villa Garden, Gordon Chi took off his jacket, rolled up his sleeves, rope in hand, while Peggy Inchi directed him. To the left. Block him. Quinn Yulee stood with a spatula. Who is that? I patted his shoulder. Your future brother-in-law. Gordon Chi lunged and pinned Pig by the back of its neck, then tied up its legs. His moves were smooth and swift. You could tell he was a pro. Pei Yingxi's eyes were sparkling. Amazing, Dr. Gu. Gu Chi wiped his forehead. Embarrassed, he said, sorry about that. Occupational habit. Since the pig-catching incident, Gu Chi and Pei Yingxi's relationship grew. They often dated at the farm. They called it field research. Quinton, you didn't understand. He flipped through a magazine, looking puzzled. Is dating this hardcore now? Dates in a pig pen? Can they stand the smell? Masked, I glanced at him. They share the same passion. Unlike you, who only takes me to London to feed pigeons. Quinton, you tossed the magazine, leaned over, and feeding pigeons is so romantic, and our pig is a neighborhood star now. True. Since that pig rooted up the black tulips, it's become famous among the rich. Everyone knows King family has an escapee pig. Some people bring kids to see it. Treat my home like a zoo. That weekend, Evan King and I were bathing the pig in the yard. Mr. King came again. This time, he brought no bodyguards, 2 boxes of supplements. You seem pretty happy. I was passing by, so I took a look. Quinn Yule handed me the hose and walked. Dad, what are you doing here? Father Quinn set the supplements on the table but kept glancing at the pig pen. This pig is almost ready for mark. I got it right away. He was craving pork. I smiled and helped him out. Dad, I plan to get someone to butcher it in the next few days. I'll have it delivered to you. Mr. Quinn nodded, satisfied. No need. Eat here. It had been ages since the family had eaten together. This was the first time Mr. Quinn had asked to stay for dinner. Yulee Quinn was thrilled. She called Paige. Sis, bring Gus home for a pork feast tonight. Dinner was lavish. Grandma had come from the countryside to cook herself. The table was covered with pork dishes, braised pork, rib soup, and stir-fried pork. The aroma filled the dining room. Father Quinn kept up his airs. He picked up his chopstick. Reservedly, he took braised pork. It melted in his rich but not greasy. It made his eyes light up. Father Quinn said nothing. His chopsticks flew. As the new son-in-law visiting the family, Gus Chase was a little nervous at seeing Father Quinn enjoy the meal. He relaxed. He poured Father Quinn a drink. Sir, this pork tastes good. It must be thanks to all the exercise. Father Quinn took a sip, his face glowing. Not bad. We should raise more pigs from now on. Quinn and I looked at each other. We're pig farmers now. After dinner, Grandma took Gus's hand. The more she looked at him, he's handsome and knows his stuff. Ivy, when are you two tying the knot? Ivy blushed. She glanced at Gus and muttered, he hasn't even proposed yet. Gus froze. He pulled a ring box from his pocket. He got down on one knee. Ivy, I was planning to propose today. The ring is shaped like a pig's snout. Do you like it? The room went silent for a second. Then everyone burst out laughing. Paige saw the pink diamond pig nose ring and laughed to tears. Chase, you're a genius. I said yes. In Quinley's arms, watching, I felt warm inside. Must be the best ending. Paige's wedding was in 3 months. They chose a beachside venue to suit Chase's taste. The venue was filled with animal-themed decorations. The flower girls were pigs, dressed up. As the bridesmaid, I was running around day. Joyce blocked drinks. As the wedding march began, Evelyn walked with her foster father. Step by step, she made her way. The sea breeze lifted her veil, and her smile shone. Then came the vows. Chase was so nervous, he stammered. I want to be your keeper for life. Oh, no, you're... The crowd laughed, but Evelyn's eyes reddened. She shouted, I do too. After exchanging rings, Evelyn shoved the bouquet into my hands. Hey, though you're married, this bouquet symbolizes good luck. I hope you and Julian stay happy forever. Holding the bouquet, I looked at her smile and nodded hard. That night, during the everyone urged Curtis to recite postpartum care for sows. Curtis rattled it off word for word. He did it in English. Everyone speechless. Julian sighed. Guess everyone has their specialty. I need more training too. I rolled my eyes at him. Training in what? How to feed pigs with grace. Quinn gave a mysterious how to be a perfect dad. My heart skipped a beat. What do you mean? He leaned to my ear. His breath brushed my neck. You didn't drink. I saw. I touched my belly. Sure enough. My period was a week late. At hospital, the test confirmed it. I was pregnant. Quinn was happy. He ran through the hallway, handing out candy to everyone. I'm going to be a dad. Nurses looked at him like he was crazy. I covered my face. After pretending not to know him, once home, the Quinn's treatment of me leveled up. Mr. Quinn gave me a condo near a top. He sent over 2 nutritionists. Grandma had a truckload of farm eggs from the countryside. I was ordered to stay home and rest. I ate and slept. I lived like a pig. Paige came to see me after her honeymoon. Paige touched my flat belly, amazed. A little person in there? I nodded. Yeah. It's only as big as a sprout now. Gus nearby, giving Quinn parenting advice. Different species, same idea. Eat a balanced diet and stay happy. Quinn listened closely and took notes in a notebook. I glanced at what she wrote. Keep the pen clean. Meaning, keep the bedroom, feed on schedule, 5 meals a day, exercise regularly, go for the temple vein twitched. Quinn, you're raising me like a sow? Quinn looked innocent. Dr. Grant said this was the most scientific way. I grabbed a pillow from the couch and hurled it at him. Get out. Pregnancy was dull and endless. To kill time, I started writing a novel about me, Quinn, and Peyton. I didn't think it'd blow up online. Comments poured in. What fairy tale love? I'm dying. A rich heiress feeding pig. I'm obsessed with this set. Where can I buy a pig nose ring? Send me the link. Watching the numbers climb on the dashboard feels amazing. Ethan became my biggest fan. Each day, he found ways to beg for an how far did you get today? Isn't it time for male lead to make cool and I glanced. The male lead gets humped by a pig. Ethan fell silent. On the due date, the family waited outside the delivery room. Ethan was nervous. His face went pale. He trembled. Lily patted his shoulder to comfort him. Don't be scared. Your sister-in-law will be fine. The head of obstetrics is Noah's classmate. He's skilled. Gordon nodded. He usually delivers calves. He was an intern then. Quinton started shaking harder after. A few hours later, a cry rang out, and the nurse came out holding the baby. Congratulations. It's a baby girl. Quinton's legs weakened, and he nearly knelt. He rushed in, held my hand, and burst into tears. You've worked so hard. We're not having more kids. Seeing him crying with tears and snot, I smiled weakly. Okay, you say. After my confinement month, I rushed to work, and the baby was sent to grandparents. The grandparents fought over babysitting, so I focused on my career. Thanks to the novel and buzz, the Kane family's pigs became a hit. Orders poured in. Even overseas clients flew in just to check. Paige launched Kane's premium eco pork. She slapped the report on table, eyes shining. We're rich. This quarter's profits are higher than Quinton's tech company. Looking at the numbers, I smiled too. We're not far from becoming the world's richest pig farmers. Quinton pushed the door open. He wore a suit, carrying 2 milk teas. He looked utterly miserable. He set drinks on table and sighed. Honey, sis. Leave me some dignity? Everyone calls me the pork prince. My tech mogul image is ruined. Peyton sipped milk tea. She patted his shoulder. Be grateful. Without these pigs, would your tech stock have risen this fast? That's called industry synergy. Quinton was left speechless. He turned, looking for comfort. There's a charity gala. Come along. I need to prove I'm Mr. Quinn, not a pig farmer. I smiled and straightened his tie. My pork prince. Let's prove it to the world. Where there's love, there's a bright future. I closed the file and nodded. I'll back you up tonight. Quinton instantly came back to life. He leaned in, pushing his luck. Can we skip the family house tonight and be alone? I pushed his face away. That depends on how you. The banquet was held at a 5-star hotel. Everyone was dressed to the. Amid clinking glasses, Quinn and I walked arm in arm. We caught everyone's attention. People whispered, look. That's Mr. and Mrs. Quinn. Their pork is impossible to get. It's a luxury money can't buy. Quinn straightened up, trying to keep the cool CEO persona. Then, a voice rang out. If it isn't Mrs. Quinn. What, not home feeding pigs? Decided to see the world? I turned around. It was summer rain. After years, she'd married a nouveau riche, covered in jewelry. Holding a glass of wine, she looked at me with mockery. I heard your family sells pork now. You've sunk low. Is this place for pig farmers like you? Julian Quinn's face darkened. He was snapping, but I stopped him. I adjusted my shawl and looked at Summer Rain. Miss Rain, you're informed, but you don't know the top charity auction item is one of our hams. Summer Rain let out a scornful, lousy ham can make it to auction? Have the organizers lost their mind? Then, the host's excited voice rang out. And now, tonight's finale, by Chin Group. Eco-fermented ham, starting at 500,000. The room erupted in shock. Summer, you nearly dropped her wine glass. 500,000? For a pig's leg? I smiled and raised my glass to her. Poverty limits your imagination. Your husband was backstage, begging Ethan to save him one. Summer's face turned red. Then, a tycoon raised his paddle. 1 million. Ethan lowered his head and chuckled in my ear. Honey, my value is going up again tonight, thanks to a pig. After dinner, Ethan had too much to drink. As I helped him out of the hotel, a scantily dressed woman bumped right into him. Oh, Mr. Ethan. Sugary-voiced, she fell into Ethan's arms, her hand slipping into his shirt. I recognized her right away. She was the heiress staring at Ethan all night, a gold digger looking for a way up. As I was about to pull her away, Quinn Yuli shoved her off as if shocked. Terrified, she patted her chest. What are you doing? I got pig feed powder on my clothes. It's expensive. Can you afford it if you spill it? The woman froze, her expression crumbling. Pig feed? Quinn Yuli looked serious. It's our company's top secret. Are you a spy sent by our rivals? Trying to steal our formula? As he spoke, he covered his pocket. I stood nearby, laughing so hard stomach. This guy gets even weirder when he's drunk. The woman was thrown by this. She stomped her foot, called him psycho, then ran off. I walked and poked Quinton's cheek. Mr. Quinn, you're a ladies' man. Quinton's eyes hazed. He pulled me close, buried his head in my neck, and nuzzled me. What ladies? They're cheap and tacky. None compared to Jasmine. Honey, let's go home. I want hangover soup. I stroked his head. Let's go home. The next day, the woman's company received a termination notice from Quinn Group. As for the woman who tried to pull that scam that night, Quinn Group gave a simple reason. Suspected theft of trade secrets. That was pig feed formula on the suit. The industry was stunned. No one dared hit on Ethan Quinn. They said Mr. Quinn loved pigs more than life. Whoever touches his pig feed is touching pride and joy. To expand overseas, Ivy Payne decided to sell Quinn pork in London. Ethan Quinn and I flew to London as advance team. Mr. Quinn Sr. was vacationing there. When he heard we were coming, he booked a Michelin-starred restaurant and invited local royal family members. At dinner, the chef carved ham flown in from overseas. Its rosy color and marbling were stunning. An earl took one bite, eyes wide. This is heavenly, richer than Iberian ham. Mr. Quinn Sr. sat proudly at the head of the table. He said, this is China's finest ham. Every pig listens to Mozart, drinks water, and grows up. I pinched my thigh under the table to keep from laughing. Ethan leaned over and whispered, Dad's got a talent for bragging. He hasn't lost his touch. The dinner was a huge success. Afterward, we walked through London. Light snow fell. Ethan stopped and wrapped my scarf around me. Jesse, remember? This was where I missed you. I almost became homeless. I looked at his red, wind-chapped nose, and heart softened. I remember. Back then, you were just a lovesick young fool. Ethan took my hand and tucked it into coat pocket. Even now, as long as it's you, I'll be a fool willing to walk 100 kilometers for you. Under the streetlight, snowflakes danced as he lowered head and kissed my lips. London's snow was no longer cold. 3 years later, it was winter again. Cheen Yuli and I returned to the village, exhausted by fame and fortune. Though we had assets in the city, every winter we came back here. This was where we felt at peace. In the yard, the original dowry pig had died, but it had left behind descendants. Payingshi and Gucci came too, with child. We gathered around the stove, roasting sweet potatoes and chatting. Grandma was old and hard of hearing, but full of energy. She looked at us with a smile. Jane, is pork selling well this year? I peeled a hot sweet potato and handed it to her. It's selling great, Grandma. People worldwide love our pork. Grandma nodded, pleased. As long as you're willing to work, life will get better. Quinn sat, helping Peggy with the accounts. Suddenly, he looked up and said mysteriously, Honey, I've got a surprise for you. I raised eyebrow. What surprise? Another pink diamond pig? Elliot shook his head and led me to the yard gate. Close your eyes. I did as he said and heard a strange clattering sound. Okay, open them. I opened my eyes and froze on the spot. In the snow outside the yard stood 2 ostriches. They had red bow ties around their necks, staring proudly. Elliot looked waiting for praise. Gordon said African ostriches handle cold and are easy to raise. Ostrich skin can be made into bags. Soon we won't sell pork, we'll enter fashion too. I looked at them in the snow. The ostrich took off running. I looked at Julian Quinn, smiled, sighed, and squeezed his hand. Mr. Quinn. Next year's headline, Rich Couple Walks Ostrich in Snow. Julian burst out laughing, scooped me up, and spun me around in the snow. As long as I'm with you, I'd walk a dinosaur. The ostrich squawked, and we laughed. On this magical winter day, our story was not over. Nearby, Ivy Page held up her phone, shouting excitedly, "Look! The ostrich laid an egg!"